can you just take me through the cyclone tracking path, where it is right now and where it's expected to go?
Yeah, absolutely. So severe tropical cyclone Fina is currently a Category 4 system sitting in the Joseph Bonaparte Gulf. So they're the waters just to the west of Darwin. Now winds within the centre are anywhere between 185 to 260 kilometres per hour. So it's still really packing a punch over those warm waters. We're expecting it to track southwestwards at around 8 kilometres per hour and gradually weaken during today before crossing the coast later this evening about the northeast Kimberley coast, somewhere near the King George River mouth. So we are expecting those winds to really start to increase across the northeast Kimberley coast throughout this afternoon. Early this afternoon, getting up to around 155 kilometres per hour, but then as we move into later this afternoon, gusts up to 185 kilometres per hour are possible. Okay,
so some pretty severe weather coming its way. We've seen Fina track through Darwin and the destruction that it puts through a town, well, a capital city rather. What is the area like where Fina is now tracking? What are the communities like there?
Look, we've got the tropical cyclone warning that extends all the way from the Northern Territory WA border to Trouton Island. So that's that northeastern coastline there. As I mentioned, we're expecting the worst or the brunt of the cyclone to expect to impact the King George River mouth and also the Berkeley River mouth. So it's going to be winds, but it's also, of course, going to be very heavy to intense rainfall with flash flooding, potential riverine flooding, and also those typical storm surges. So the storm surges that push up and don't allow the waters to be able to escape from those river mouths. So there is the risk of flooding and inundation of low-lying areas around the coastline and also along the river there.
Okay, Sarah, moving on to southeast Queensland overnight, it was lashed with some pretty severe overnight storms. What exactly was experienced and where?
Yeah, look, it was another really big storm day across southeast and central Queensland. This is actually the 6th weekend in a row that they've had severe thunderstorms. So the severe weather season's definitely living up to its name. There was giant-size hail between 7 to 9 centimetres, so really giant-size hail reported across a number of locations throughout central Queensland and southeastern Queensland, with more storms forecast today. In fact, there's a really broad area of storms forecast right across northern Australia, central Australia and eastern Australia, but severe high-end thunderstorms are likely again today throughout southeast Queensland as well as the Northern Rivers district of New South Wales. And within these areas, they may see again giant-sized hail. So that's hail with a diameter greater than 5 centimetres and as well destructive wind gusts. So gusts in excess of 125 kilometres per hour, and then of course the heavy rainfall that may lead to flooding.
You mentioned there, Sarah, the Northern Rivers of New South Wales. There's some pretty high forecast temperatures for that area as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's over the next couple of days, we're forecasting maximum temperatures really right along that eastern seaboard of New South Wales to be anywhere between 8 to 12 degrees above the November average. For Sydney, forecasting a peak day on Wednesday of 35 degrees. So some really, really warm or above average temperatures are expected over the next few days until at least Thursday, when we'll start to see some cooler temperatures arrive with a southerly change.
We've covered a fair amount of the country just in this last couple of minutes of the conversation. Have we missed anything? Are there any other extreme weather events going on elsewhere in the country?
Look, there's a heat wave extending across large parts of northern Australia, including across Queensland, but as well it does look like it's going to be another really sort of unsettled, stormy and tropical week ahead for eastern parts of the country. We've got the potential for some severe storms tomorrow for South Australia, southeastern parts, so including Adelaide, and then that moves into Victoria on Wednesday. So it's a really active week, keeping us all on our toes.